I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow.
What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City live stream transfer show with Manchester City. I'm all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try that again. On JSGC, we're here for another transfer show. We're going to be speaking about all things Manchester City transfers. We're going to be speaking about Josko Gvardiol. We're going to be speaking about Riyad Mahrez. We're going to be speaking about all the transfers that have happened over the last week or so. So do enjoy the content. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. All the other good stuff too. It's in the description if you want to go and check that out. We'll just dive right in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll speak about the transfers, and as Joshua says there, use the Mahrez money, finish the add-ons, done deal for Josko Gvardiol. I think we'll speak about Riyad Mahrez, because I just mentioned on my transfer update for today, Riyad Mahrez leaves Manchester City. He leaves City after 5 years, and what he's achieved and what he's done for the club has been nothing short of sensational. He is an amazing player. He is one of them players that oozes absolute quality. He's like İlkay Gündoğan. He just seems like fine wine, just seems to get better with age. A player that never really relied on pace, relied on precision, relied on his quality on the ball, and that is what made Riyad Mahrez so dangerous yet so successful for Manchester City, and that's why he's won so many accolades with the club. It's why he's won Premier Leagues, he's won the Champions League, he's been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. And I do feel like with some of these outgoings that we're getting at the club, that the Champions League that we've won is very much the last piece of the jigsaw for a lot of these players. They want to win the Champions League. They wanted to do that with City. They've done that, and now they will actively seek a new challenge away from the club, because these players that are getting linked with the exit door, they're getting no younger. Mahrez wants a new challenge, goes to Saudi Arabia. Kyle Walker potentially wants to leave Manchester City and get a new challenge as well, because he's been there, done that, and worn the t-shirt with Manchester City. He's done everything there is to achieve with the club. There's nothing else really left for these players to achieve with the club because they've been that successful and that good for Manchester City. So Riyad Mahrez leaves, and I think today's a very sad day because of that, because he is no longer a Manchester City player. It does open up a little bit of a space in our squad. Do Manchester City want to go out there and move Phil Foden into midfield on a permanent basis, and we want to go out there and sign a winger? Or do we want to move Phil Foden permanently to the wing and open up a little bit of a space potentially in central midfield for Manchester City? Remains to be seen, but very interesting nonetheless. And I wish Riyad Mahrez the very best of luck in Saudi Arabia at Al-Ahli, where he signs for just over £30 million. And to me, as I said, I think he's a big loss for Manchester City. I think he's a top quality player. Al-Ahli pick up a great player for the Saudi Arabian League, adding to even more quality that is getting added day after day, week after week to the Saudi Arabian League. And to me, I think Riyad Mahrez is right up there as one of the best bits of business that the Saudi Arabian League have gone out there to go and get done. And I think is a big gain there for Saudi Arabia, is a big loss for Manchester City. But I have nothing bad to say about Riyad Mahrez, a dedicated professional. I have never seen a player who has better ball control than what Riyad Mahrez does. The ball literally sticks to his feet like glue. And he is a player who's scored so many important goals, who's still got that quality. And it'd be very interesting to see how he does in Saudi Arabia. So best of luck there to Riyad Mahrez. And as I said, I think today is a pretty sad day for Manchester City in losing a top quality player. But yeah, there we go. Just I see some people just speaking about replacements and who do you want to go out with? Michael Olise is a player that's been linked with Manchester City from Crystal Palace over the last week. Is a name that's getting chucked out there. Leroy Sané is another name being chucked out there by Giannis. I butchered your name. I do apologise for that one. But we might choose to go out there and look at wingers. You never know. Man City may want to bring somebody in who can, I imagine, if we do want to add an attacking player, they'll want a player that can cover at least two positions. Do they want to go out there and sign a winger who can play on the left and play on the right? Or do you want to go out there and sign a winger who can play on either the left or the right, who can also play in central midfield? Or do you want to go out there and just sign an out-and-out winger? What do Manchester City want to go and do? That is the big question. There's lots of good options. I mean, there's a player that's getting linked with Saudi Arabia who I would love at Manchester City, and that's Sadio Mane. I think he is a player that oozes complete class on that football field because he is a brilliant player. He scored so many goals for Liverpool. He's still got the quality available for transfer as well. Yeah, it looked pretty much like he's set for a move to Saudi Arabia, and it's very much a player that's going to belong in the past of the Premier League rather than the future. So we'll wait and see. Prince, thanks so much for tuning in. Says Gabri Veiga, another good opportunity, a good choice out there. Got a release clause. That's quite important. When it comes to Man City, negotiations, time out. We don't like negotiations. So what's the hold up with Josko Gvardiol? Everyone keeps asking me, what's the hold up? All this is happening, that's happening. You know, it's not got a release clause. That's what the hold up is here. Man City haven't got that release clause to deal with. We have to negotiate. We have to work. We have to work hard to get that transfer done and dusted. We can't just say, what's his release clause? Oh, yeah, that's good price, we'll pay that. Although the Gvardiol deal seems pretty straightforward. 100 million euros. Oh, yeah, that's all right, we'll pay that. Man City clearly not happy to pay that, and so it takes work to get that deal done. It's no longer a release clause that we're happy to pay instead, so good bit of fun there. Gabri Veiga, I think it'd be a pretty good choice for Manchester City. He's had a good season with Celta Vigo. That 40 million euro release clause isn't going to be there forever, so we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. The Journey, thanks for tuning in. Says, speaking about Sadio Mane there, class player, brilliant player, and a player I think that would suit Manchester City to the ground. I really do. He is a player that I could guarantee would come to Manchester City and score goals because that's what he does best. All you need to do is give him the ball, and there is no team out there better than Manchester City for giving the ball to a player and asking them, there you go and do it. But there we go. That's they're just my thoughts. Seamus makes a really good point there. Cancelo on the wing. We saw it at parts last season. In pre-season, it's looked pretty good. And that might just be the little outlet that Cancelo needs to get back into the Manchester City squad. However, we saw it last season, and there were times where if Cancelo wasn't on it, he really wasn't on it. And it was very much like Leroy Sané during his last season at Manchester City when he wasn't on it. It just wasn't working. You're going to be on the bench. You're going to remain on the bench for a long time. And we're just going to leave that one there. It could be an option there for Manchester City. João Cancelo is a player that, as we've seen from pre-season, clearly has the quality. It's all about Manchester City finding a way to utilise him in the long term. What do we want from João Cancelo? And is there a way back for Manchester City? Because different things are suggesting different stories. There's word coming in from journalists who are reliable saying Cancelo's not got a future at Man City yet. I see him getting minutes in pre-season, and Man City giving him minutes for no particular reason, just to encourage teams around the world to want to make a move for João Cancelo by saying he's still got the quality, or a City giving him minutes because they think they've got something there that they can work with for the upcoming season. Well, remains to be seen. I don't know. I really do not know. MCFR TV asks what's going on with Cancelo, what's going on with Laporte. Surprised no big clubs are in for them. And to be honest, they are two high-quality players, and I think there's reason they're still at Man City is because City aren't going to sell to another Premier League team. You cast your mind back 12 months when Man City sold Alexander Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. We got some pretty good money for them, in my complete honest opinion. But we managed to shift them on because we were happy to sell them to another Premier League team. In Arsenal, we got a good amount for them, and that's the end of the story. With Cancelo and Laporte, we're not going to sell these players to Premier League teams, so it becomes a little bit difficult to sell them on unless you're going to accept a real bargain cut price deal, which quite frankly doesn't reflect the value of these players in today's climate and today's market. Premier League teams out there, if Man City were to communicate to the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea, Liverpool, etc., that Cancelo and Laporte are available for transfer, these big Premier League clubs would be all over that, and they'd be paying good money for that as well. And Man City would be able to shift these players on, no problem whatsoever. But there aren't clubs outside the Premier League that are prepared to spend 35, 40, 45 million pound for a Laporte, 40, 50, 60 million pound for a Cancelo. So it becomes very difficult to move these players on for Manchester City. And I think if Man City, when it comes to it, I think some teams maybe around Europe have just been very patient when it comes to these deals, knowing full well that Man City want to get their business done at some point. They won't want it done during transfer deadline day. So the longer they leave it in the market, the more desperate the clubs get. The clubs may spend what Man City are looking for, or what's more than likely to happen is Man City will end up saying, actually, we want these players to leave, and they'll leave more than likely on loan with an option to buy rather than an obligation to buy. And it's just, to me, it's a bad way to go about the transfers. To me, I'd like clarity on their future. It's not helped that Man City haven't sorted out the future of these players. They've almost allowed these players to come back from pre-season and go straight on a pre-season tour and not actually sat down and discussed the future with these players. And they're not going to do that until they get back into Manchester next week. So we're probably not going to get much of an update on the likes of Walker, Laporte and Cancelo until we're back in Manchester, which obviously does mean in terms of the incomings, going to be another slow week is what I think is going to happen. I think gradually, as the next week goes on, I think we might get a little bit busier. And I think after that, once we've got the Community Shield done and dusted, I think that week before the Premier League starts is when we're going to have our most frantic, busiest week in the transfer market in terms of incomings and outgoings. And that's when I think Man City will find that agreement for Josko Gvardiol. I think it will come in that week before the Premier League starts. And we're playing on a Friday night against Burnley, so it gives us a day less, so to speak, because we're not playing at the weekend to try and get the transfers done. So we'll see. As William says there, we're running with Gvardiol for a long time. It's a great player, but we have to find a replacement for Riyad Mahrez there. And it pretty much is just that. It's long term. It's Man City. We know of the interest of Josko Gvardiol. We know what's happening. We know that an agreement's close to being found. I think an agreement was close to being found when Fabrizio Romano was fed information that wasn't true about him giving the here we go. There's clearly things happening in the background. City and Leipzig clearly working to try and resolve the matter when it comes to the fee. I don't think we're too far off finding an agreement. I think Man City will want a bit of clarity on what's happening with their squad, how we're going to fit Gvardiol in. And once we've got that sorted over the next 7 days or so, I think Man City then will push on and get that Gvardiol transfer done and dusted and in the bag. I think the most important thing we've got here that's not forcing Man City's hand is we've not got any interest from any other club, because I think Arsenal were going to do something similar with Declan Rice and negotiating that fee. They were happy to drag that on all summer. It was Man City's interest that forced that transfer through. And Leipzig might get impatient. They might link another club with Gvardiol. They might say, you know what, Man United, they're going to pay 100 million euros. They're coming in. Feed that to a couple of sources, and we watch how quick Man City then move to get that transfer sorted, or not, because sometimes Man City aren't held to ransom. It's Man City in a transfer market. It's Chicky in a summer transfer market. Who knows what's going to happen when it comes to the transfers? Right, guys, I'll be honest with you, there's not really too much else that's happened this week. A lot of the clubs now are preparing and sitting down for the pre-season. They're wanting their players in and sorted, so there's not been too many incomings and outgoings involving Manchester City. We've not had clarity on Kyle Walker's future. There is hope that he could stay at Manchester City. Very positive words I've heard this week from Manchester City when it comes to keeping Kyle Walker at the club. I still expect him to leave. I still expect him to join Bayern Munich. That is my genuine belief right now. But the longer this saga goes on, word from Bayern Munich's camp is expensive. Man City are asking for too much money. The longer it goes on, I'd say the more likely it is potentially that Kyle Walker may stay at Manchester City, which I think would be a really good bit of business for Manchester City to get done. And of course, we've had arguably one of the biggest stories of the week is with Riyad Mahrez leaving Manchester City. There's just no room now for us to let any other wide players leave, and that includes Bernardo Silva. And obviously received word this week that Bernardo Silva untransferable for Manchester City. He will be staying at Manchester City. If we can get Bernardo Silva on a new deal and Kyle Walker on a new deal, to me, they are two bits of fantastic business, arguably just as good as adding a new player to the squad. So we'll see what direction Man City want to go in when it comes to these transfers. Very interesting. Of course, every single day we'll keep you guys up to date with my transfer updates, where the summer's long, so anything can happen. But when I do get the latest information, of course, I will keep you guys up to date. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Right, guys, I've still got another 5 or 10 minutes really spare. If you've got any transfers you want me to speak about or any opinions you want me to give, then please do let me know in the live chat, and we'll have a little bit of interaction. That would be much appreciated. That would be absolutely fantastic. Not really got too much else left to add on. I think the only thing we'll left to address is my video title. When do you think Man City are going to sign Josko Gvardiol? I'm going for just before Man City play Burnley. So if I want to give an exact date, I think an agreement will get found. Let me just get my calendar up. I think an agreement will be found around the 8th or 9th of August, and I think the transfer will be sorted either, I think it'll come just after the Burnley game. I reckon 14th, 15th of August is my prediction on when I think Manchester City will sign Josko Gvardiol. There's movement going on there, and I would say more so now than we got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. I am more confident now than when we got that of Gvardiol being a Manchester City player. I'm firmly convinced it's a matter of time. It's a matter of when Man City sign Josko Gvardiol, not if Manchester City sign Josko Gvardiol. Some good predictions in here. I like it. Sean going for the 2nd of August. Optimistic, could be done very soon. JSGC is going to be very busy if it's a 2nd. Really busy. Journey going for the 3rd. Yeah, again, people confident, realistic. I like it. MCFR going for the 7th of August. Again, yeah, it's a good shout, I'm going for the 14th. I'm going for the week later is what I think, but we'll have to wait and see. It has been a bit of a quiet week with the transfers, really. It's just more been about, over the last couple of days, Josko Gvardiol. Other than that, it's been Man City's preparation pre-season, potential outgoings, and the latest with Kyle Walker, Bernardo Silva, and Riyad Mahrez. The Journey asked any updates on Carlos Borges. It's been very quiet on Carlos Borges. I've not reported on him in over a week. As I said, it might be something to do with City being on pre-season and Borges hasn't travelled with the squad, that Man City may wait until they get back to Manchester to get the future sorted, because Borges, if he doesn't leave Man City, you would imagine would be around the first team squad. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think there's too much else really left to speak about, to be honest. As I said, if you've got anything you want me to chat about, then now's the time to do it before I end up ending this live stream. Callum saying either the 31st of July or the 1st of August, going for early next week, Monday or Tuesday of next week. Woo! It's going to be busy. People are thinking it's going to be busy then for JSGC. I like it. I like that a lot. I like being busy and getting things sorted. Thank you very much, Kaz Chief, for tuning in. It says Man City should invest in another world-class midfielder like a Frankie de Jong or a Joshua Kimmich. Replace Phil with Mahrez. And when De Bruyne, makes a good point, De Bruyne gets injured, obviously you're looking for another top-quality player to be able to take over the reins. Ideally speaking, if we don't choose to address the situation either out wide or through the middle, and I think a lot depends on Bernardo Silva, who looks set to stay. So I don't think City will address that wide situation. We might not. I think the most important thing we need an answer for over the next 12 months, and certainly looking towards next summer. I think defensively City looks stacked. I think the bigger issues you have is, what do we do with Calvin Phillips? Is he going to have a good season or not? If not, do you ship him on and bring another midfielder in? I think long-term, though, a winger and a central midfielder, a long-term Kevin De Bruyne replacement has to be on the minds of Man City. And this summer was meant to be one of them really busy, really important summers where Man City really splashed the cash, 200, 300 million pounds, and it's not really turned out to be the case. City haven't really addressed many problems, to be honest. So there we go. What do I think of Bernardo Silva's haircut? The inspired by Mateo Kovacic haircut. Shave it all off and start again. Who knows? Maybe the shaven Bernardo Silva is the new Bernardo Silva. It's going to send Bernardo Silva to another galaxy, something we've not seen from Bernardo Silva as of yet. Maybe the shaven head Bernardo is the way forward, remains to be seen. Maybe he's just got fed up with the locks. I'm not too sure. He's got married. He's got his pictures. I think he's got a kid on the way as well. Time to shave the hair off and adapt the dad style of haircuts. Maybe is what he's taking on there. Who knows? Who knows? Bernardo, though, I like it. I like change of hairstyles. I mean, what would be? Who do you reckon would be the most unlikeliest player to shave their head and turn up bald one day for training and one day for a game? I reckon Jack Grealish, if he shaved his head. I reckon everyone would be like, "Who's that? Who's that? Who? Grealish? No hair? What's going on?" Who do you reckon would be the most unlikeliest? I definitely reckon it'd be Jack Grealish. I don't think I could see him shaving his head, but who knows? If he has a kid on the way, does strange things to people. We'll have to wait and see. Brian says, Kimmich next to Rodri, double pivot, mouth-watering. One day, maybe. RGS says, Haaland, a bold Haaland. Imagine that. Wow. I just imagined it. Okay, there we go. Anyway, right, guys, it's been quiet. I think I'm going to end the live show. I don't think there's too much else really to chat about, to be honest. MCFR says, I've got Iceland video on the vlogs channel tomorrow. Really enjoying them. Thanks so much for checking them out. Links in the description. Go and check them out. I'll be editing, and there will be another video out from Iceland tomorrow. Let you in on a worldwide exclusive for anyone that does care. It will be me covering the northern tips of Iceland in a place called Havnstangi, which is kind of more central towards the west side of the north of Iceland. To look forward to will be the next video that's coming out. Anyway, in terms of future content, of course, we've got the transfer updates rolling daily throughout the transfer window. Got these coming every weekend, my live stream transfer shows for you guys to look forward to. And we will be back Sunday. South Korea, Man City are taking on Atletico Madrid, our final pre-season match for the 2023-2024 season. I will be doing a live watch along. I will have the link out to that hopefully tonight. You can set your reminders for that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, social media links and everything there in the description. JSGC vlogs, you want to go and check out my Iceland videos, links to that also in the description. And yeah, I'll see you all again real soon. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you to everyone that's interacted with me. Grealish loves his hair more than the treble. Word, 100%. Anton, thank you so much for the love and support. Much appreciated. As I say, thank you to everybody that's tuned in, interacted with me, left a thumbs up, subscribed, and I'll see you guys all again real soon. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.